Yeah, I'm in the wrong order. Yeah, I don't know.
It's Mark, James.
The last ones.
Are we the last ones?
What order are we supposed to be in?
Thank you. Thank you. You have been working hard.
Can somebody repeat the order so we can get in the right order for us?
All right, let us start with 141.
Hello? Can you tell us what order we're supposed to stand in again? Can you read it out?
You can stand in any
okay,
order you want. You just won Oscars. You can do whatever you want on stage.
We don't
No
care.
slapping.
141.
All right, throw out some questions.
Over here, guys.
Which actor threw up the most during the plane flights? Anybody?
Is this on?
Okay, the answer.
Okay, 141 followed by 187.
Right over here, guys.
141.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so during the production of this film, a lot of you couldn't work together in the same room because of COVID. Can you talk about a little bit about that experience and then what it's like to get to celebrate together tonight?
We've got a signer. Chris. I'd like to address that. During the production of the film, I'm the production sound mixer. It was pre-COVID. We actually shot the movie 5 years ago. So during the production of the film, we all could be together. During post-production is when the pandemic happened, and these guys can address that.
Yeah, we got the call. We got the call, and we were in lockdown in the UK. So we were asked. The post team in the UK were asked, were we ready to just go through the whole? It was all new to all of us. What was going to happen in post, and we were just given all the details of how all the social distancing, all the routine we were going to have to basically enforce. And it also involved when Tom Cruise and Chris McQuarrie and everybody turned up in the dub. So we were mixing away on the stage at Twickenham Film Studios, and we basically just had to, it was all new, and we just had to make sure everybody was safe. The days were a bit shorter than normal, which was fantastic for us, because we work ridiculous long hours usually. And it was just a sort of safe environment was created so that we could mix the film and feel comfortable, so people could come in. We reduced the numbers. Normally our dubbing studios might be 12, 15, 20 people in there for a review of a reel, but it was down to 6, 7, so we were just being very safe, and luckily we got through it, and the rest is history.
Made it in theaters at the right time, thankfully.
Next number.
All right, moving on to 187, followed by a question in the virtual press room.
187, isn't that?
Here.
That's murder, isn't it?
To your left.
187. Hello.
To your left. Hello. Hi. Okay, hi. You know, many people credit Top Gun with saving movie theaters and getting people back into a dark place to see a movie collectively. And of course, you did so well financially. So you have all that under your belt. What does the Oscar on top of it mean? A lot of people were hoping maybe you'd slip in with a little more, but you got it for sound, so tell us how you feel.
You know, we have to acknowledge our filmmakers who knew, before COVID, before anything, when they were still working on the script, they knew that this had to be special. You may have heard at one point Tom Cruise told Joe Kosinski, this film has to be a bullet hitting a bullet. It had to be perfect, and it had to supersede what the original film did, which was already an amazing film. And so the expectations were very elevated. And so throughout the process, it was, how can we make this better, from story to production to sound? And so we all worked very, very hard to get it to the point to where it met the expectations that Tom Cruise had set for this film. And so we are grateful that sound won an award, but so many of the crafts, including the story, including the directing, including what Jerry Bruckheimer put together with Tom and Chris McQuarrie, deserve amazing credit for making theater cinema something that people wanted to risk and invest in again. We're so thankful for that.
It means a lot.
Yeah, to conclude.
Okay, next up, we have a question from the virtual press room. San Diego County News, you're on.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Given that military aircrafts produce different types of noise levels, did you face any challenges recording these sounds for the movie?
Okay.
I had the benefit, the pleasure early on to get to spend a week on an aircraft carrier with these jets. We had F-18s and F-35s. And they're loud engines and machines. We have equipment that we set up to be able to record them. But the intention with this film was to be able to experience Top Gun the way you experience a jet when you're with it. And you feel it in your stomach. You feel it in your gut. It has punch and it has heft. So we collected as much material as we could. And then thanks to our amazing re-recording mixers and our sound team, we were able to recreate that for the cinema. And thanks to Dolby, who gives us subwoofers and gives us surround sound. And so the idea was what the pilots feel when they're with a jet could be experienced by the film goer.
I'd like to also address that question because I was a production mixer and I would record these planes and it would sound like it was distorting. I was like, wait, is it being overdriven? And I would take my headphones off and I'd say, no, that's what it sounds like because these jets are so loud. They're actually, I don't know, they're like shattering the air or something. Because, right, would you agree, Al? It's like something almost like they're tearing the air apart.
It's ripping loud.
Ripping. And, you know, so at first I'm like, wait, am I overdriving this stuff? I'm like, no, that's what it sounds like. They were so loud. Like at times there's a shot where Tom's riding his motorcycle and the plane is taking off simultaneously, and I was in between the two runways, and it was so unbelievably loud there. I was like, wow, this is loud. And you could feel the heat from the engines, too. Anyway, that's my answer to that question. Next. Somebody?
Okay, next up we have 321 followed by final question 272.
321.
Hello, I am Gemma from Letterboxd, the film social network. Congratulations on your Oscars.
Thanks.
We have another prize to present to you tonight. As of this moment, of the 10 Best Picture nominees, Top Gun Maverick is the most obsessively rewatched film among our membership.
Yeah.
So, somebody described the measure of rewatchability as being like a great song, like a great dance song when the drop comes and you know the drop is coming and you get that again and again and again when you rewatch a film. So I wanted to know what your thoughts on that are and what your message to the audience is who have rewatched your film and are still doing so.
Go ahead.
That's a great question. I think keep going back and watching it in a cinema for one. That's the first point.
Watch it again.
Watch it again and again. There's going to be something you get every time. I think the one thing about this movie that made people want to go back and see it again was that it was something you could only experience in the cinema to that level. And that there is an emotional structure to the soundscape, whether it's music, sound effects, dialogue, it all fits in a way that carries you through the movie, so you're set up for the next thing. And people like to be told a story that they feel they can trust, that they feel engaged in, that they're immersed in, and so that is almost, it's addictive. It's like you want that feel good, and not a lot of films concentrate on that as much these days. Films like to challenge, they like to overwhelm, but this, for me, this soundtrack and this movie brought the audience in and immersed people, so you lean into it. You're not thrown away from it, and so I hope that people will continue to go and watch it for that reason.
And thank you for that honor.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. And 272, final question of the night.
Carolyn Giardina from The Hollywood Reporter. Hi.
Hi.
Congratulations.
Hi, thank you.
Wonderful work. This is the third year since they recombined the category into Best Sound, and there's currently a limit on the number of you that can be up here. You obviously had a big team on this movie. I was curious, do you feel like the number is right? Would you like to see the number extended so there could be more people in your category? And is there anything you'd like to say to your team?
Sure. I would say it would be great if it was a little more flexible so that you could allow people who had a contribution in if it was warranted. And
Right.
I think that in this case it was, but you know, rules is rules, and that's the way it has to be. There are some things that things keep changing, and the size of movies keeps changing, and the community that makes those movies keeps changing. So I trust the Academy to totally understand how the balance has to be. but they need feedback from the likes of us and all the other sound teams to understand what it is that we perceive as fair and right. And so it's all our responsibility to make sure that everybody gets the right attention and the right kind of acknowledgement.
Go ahead. I'd like to say that I've actually addressed this before with the Academy because I wanted to promote some shared credits, because so often a movie is shot half in England, half in America, half here, half there. But the Academy, at least in terms of production mixer, traditionally will only allow one name. And for years I've said, why can't we have shared credits? But they'll only allow one. So we'll see. Maybe we can make some headway now, because it seems like things are really changing at the Academy the last 5-10 years. So maybe. But
you would love to see 20 sound editors up here, though, wouldn't you? I mean, we'd love for us all to be up here.
It's a lot of statues. But anyway, I do. It's a valid question, and it's good. It's being considered.
Thank you so much, and congratulations on your big night.